I want to talk to you about something truly transformative, something that has the power to unlock a completely new reality for each and every one of us. That is the power of our thoughts. I firmly believe that if you change your thoughts, you can change your thoughts. You can change your life. Think about this. Everything in our lives, the things we have, the things we want, the person we are today begins with a single thought. Before every action, there is a decision. And before every decision, there is a belief or thought. In other words, the quality of our lives is ultimately shaped by the quality of our thinking. Our thoughts are incredibly powerful forces, shaping not just our perception of reality, but also influencing the very reality we experience. The way we think determines how we interpret situations, make decisions, respond to challenges, and interact with the world around us. When we embrace positive, growth-oriented thoughts, we unlock potential, attract constructive outcomes, and navigate life's complexities with resilience. However, negative thoughts can limit us, holding us back from possibilities we might otherwise have seized. It's this fundamental idea that fuels the phrase, change your thoughts, change your life. Imagine waking up each day with thoughts that anticipate struggle, failure, or disappointment. Even before we encounter any real situation, these thoughts cast a shadow over our day, affecting our mood, posture, and openness to opportunities. For example, when you think today is going to be rough, you are unconsciously preparing yourself to look for and therefore notice things that will confirm this belief. You might become hypersensitive to minor inconveniences or irritations, viewing them as proof of your initial thought. This mindset doesn't just alter your mood, it actively directs your actions and reactions in ways that often make the day feel harder than it needs to be. Your mind, in essence, has become a filter, primed to validate what it's been told to believe. On the other hand, if you approach the day with thoughts like I'm ready to face whatever comes my way, you're mentally opening yourself up to handle challenges with resilience and to find joy in unexpected places. It's not that your day will suddenly become free of obstacles, but you'll likely perceive and approach those obstacles differently. For instance, a difficult project at work or a traffic jam on the way to an appointment may be seen less as disruptions and more as opportunities to exercise patience, creativity, or problem-solving skills. Your thoughts can transform what would have been a frustrating experience into something manageable or even productive. There's a significant psychological component to this as well. Our thoughts are often self-fulfilling because they influence our self-belief and confidence. Studies in psychology have shown that positive thinking enhances mental resilience, stress tolerance, and even physical health outcomes. This is because positive thoughts encourage proactive behavior. When we believe in ourselves and expect good things, we're more likely to take constructive actions that align with these expectations. For example, someone who constantly thinks, I am capable and can improve, is far more likely to take on new challenges, invest in learning, and persist through difficulty compared to someone who thinks, I'll always fail. Over time, these differences in action lead to different realities. The person with a positive outlook has more experiences of growth and achievement, while the negative thinker may remain stuck, often finding themselves in repeated cycles of frustration and self-doubt. Our thoughts also significantly affect how we interact with others, which in turn shapes our reality. When we harbor positive, open-minded thoughts, we tend to approach relationships with trust and compassion. This approach often fosters connection, support, and understanding from others. Imagine someone who meets new people with the thought, I can learn something from everyone I meet. This mindset not only enriches their relationships, but also fills their lives with diverse perspectives and experiences, enhancing their understanding and appreciation of the world. In contrast, if someone thinks people are not trustworthy, they're likely to distance themselves or be guarded in their interactions. Over time, this belief might limit the quality and quantity of their connections, resulting in a more isolated or skeptical experience of the world. Another crucial aspect is how thoughts drive our perseverance. When we think positively about our abilities, our goals, and the challenges we face, we're more likely to persist. For instance, when an entrepreneur starts a business, the belief in eventual success sustains them through setbacks, long hours, and financial risks. If that same entrepreneur constantly thought, this will never work, they would be far more likely to give up at the first sign of trouble. Positive thoughts create a mental buffer against the inevitable hardships in life, reminding us that failure is part of the process. And that persistence is often the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The influence of thoughts on reality is also vividly illustrated in how people approach their personal growth and development. If you think I can always improve, then each new challenge becomes an opportunity for growth, and every failure becomes a valuable lesson. This perspective not only motivates you to keep learning, but also encourages you to take risks, pursue passions, and grow in areas that might seem intimidating at first. It allows you to see yourself as a work in progress, constantly evolving and reaching for a better version of yourself. This isn't just about being optimistic, it's about recognizing that your beliefs can limit or expand your potential. In essence, our thoughts are both our guides and our mirrors, reflecting back the reality we've chosen to create. And while we cannot always control the circumstances of life, we can choose how we think about them. By practicing mindful awareness of our thoughts and actively choosing to replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones, we can transform our lives from within. Changing your thoughts is not a magic trick, it's a discipline. It's the daily work of recognizing when your mind is slipping into negativity, reminding yourself of your values and goals, and choosing to focus on what will help you move forward. To change your thoughts is to take charge of the lens through which you view life. Instead of seeing only barriers, you start to notice bridges. Instead of dwelling on setbacks, you begin to appreciate progress. By making this shift, we not only change our perceptions, but also empower ourselves to create a more fulfilling, intentional life. In short, when we change our thoughts, we don't just alter the way we see the world, we change our place within it. And in doing so, we open the door to a life filled with possibility, growth, and transformation. Becoming aware of our thoughts is a powerful and transformative step in personal development, yet it's something many of us overlook. We often go through our days on autopilot, reacting to events, people, and situations without stopping to reflect on how our thoughts shape these responses. But what if, instead of simply reacting, we took a moment to observe our thoughts? What if we practice self-awareness, making a habit of recognizing what we're thinking and how those thoughts are influencing our behavior and overall mood? Developing self-awareness is like holding up a mirror to your mind. It gives us the chance to see the inner workings of our thoughts, revealing patterns we may have been unaware of. Often we hold on to negative beliefs about ourselves or the world that are so ingrained they feel like facts. For example, thoughts like "I'll never be good enough" or "things never work out for me" can run in the background of our minds, coloring everything we do. Without self-awareness, these kinds of thoughts have free rein, shaping our actions and our reality. Self-awareness allows us to catch these automatic thoughts before they take hold, giving us the power to challenge and ultimately change them. To build self-awareness, we first have to slow down. Life moves quickly, and we're constantly bombarded by information, responsibilities, and expectations. In such a fast-paced world, our thoughts often pass by unnoticed. But taking time for self-reflection, even if it's just a few minutes each day, creates space for us to observe what's happening in our minds. This can be as simple as pausing to ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Or why am I feeling this way? Asking these questions helps bring your thought patterns to the surface, where they can be examined rather than simply accepted. Journaling is another effective tool for developing self-awareness. By putting your thoughts on paper, you're forced to articulate them, which helps clarify what's happening inside your mind. Writing down your thoughts allows you to identify recurring themes, whether they're thoughts of self-doubt, anxiety, anger, or even positivity. Over time, journaling can reveal which thoughts are most influential in your life and whether they are serving you well or holding you back. It's a way to take a step back and look at your mind objectively, almost like an observer. Meditation is another powerful practice for cultivating self-awareness. In meditation, the goal isn't to stop thinking, but to become aware of your thoughts without judgment. By sitting quietly and observing your mind, you learn to notice when thoughts come and go. You begin to realize that thoughts are just that, thoughts. They are not necessarily true, and they don't have to control you. This awareness creates a sense of distance from your thoughts, giving you the ability to choose which ones to engage with and which ones to let go. Over time, meditation can help break the habit of automatically reacting to thoughts and instead empower you to respond consciously. Once you start to develop this self-awareness, you'll notice that many of your thoughts are habitual. Our minds are like well-worn paths. We tend to think the same things repeatedly, often without realizing it. Some of these habitual thoughts may be harmless, but others may be negative or limiting. For example, you might have a habit of thinking, I always mess things up whenever you make a mistake. Without self-awareness, this thought can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, reinforcing a sense of inadequacy. But with self-awareness, you can catch this thought in the moment and decide whether it's truly accurate or helpful. In fact, self-awareness gives us the ability to question the validity of our thoughts. Just because we think something doesn't mean it's true. Many of our thoughts are influenced by past experiences, emotions, or the opinions of others. For instance, if you think, I'm not smart enough to succeed in my career, this thought may stem from an old experience or a comment someone made years ago. Self-awareness allows us to recognize that this thought doesn't necessarily reflect our current reality or potential. It gives us the power to ask, is this thought helping me or is it holding me back? Through self-awareness, we also begin to see the connection between our thoughts and our emotions. Thoughts have a direct impact on how we feel, and our feelings in turn influence our behavior. For example, if you're constantly thinking, I can't handle this, you're likely to feel anxious or overwhelmed. This emotional state might lead you to avoid challenges, reinforcing the original thought. By becoming aware of this cycle, you can begin to disrupt it. Instead of letting thoughts dictate your emotions and actions, you can choose thoughts that support a more positive and constructive response. Instead of thinking, I can't handle this, you might replace it with, I may not know everything, but I can figure this out. This simple shift can reduce anxiety and help you approach the situation with a sense of empowerment rather than fear. Another benefit of self-awareness is that it fosters a sense of responsibility for our thoughts and actions. It's easy to blame circumstances or other people for our reactions, but self-awareness reminds us that we have a choice in how we respond. While we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we think about it. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it means taking ownership of our perspective. By choosing to think in ways that support our well-being and growth, we become active participants in shaping our lives. Self-awareness also strengthens our relationships. When we're aware of our thoughts, we're less likely to react impulsively or take things personally. We're able to see our own triggers and biases, which helps us communicate more effectively and compassionately. For instance, if a friend makes a critical comment, an unexamined thought might lead to feelings of anger or defensiveness. But if we're aware of this response, we can pause and reflect. We might realize that our reaction is tied to a deeper insecurity, not necessarily the friend's comment itself. This awareness allows us to respond calmly, preserving the relationship and preventing unnecessary conflict. In sum, self-awareness is a skill that opens the door to personal growth, emotional balance, and healthier relationships. It helps us see the connection between our thoughts, feelings, and actions, giving us the power to choose how we respond to life. Developing self-awareness requires patience and practice, but the rewards are immense. By taking time each day to observe and reflect on our thoughts, we can break free from limiting beliefs, build resilience, and create a life that truly reflects who we are and what we value. Self-awareness is the foundation for change, empowering us to reshape our thoughts and, in doing so, to reshape our lives. Negative thinking can have a powerful grip on our minds, often becoming so habitual that we don't even realize its effects. It can manifest as self-doubt, fear, or harsh judgments about ourselves and others, ultimately shaping our lives in limiting and unproductive ways. One of the most effective ways to break free from this cycle is to replace negative thoughts with positive ones intentionally. This practice might seem simple, but it requires consistent effort and a shift in how we approach our inner dialogue. Learning to replace negative thoughts is like training a muscle. It takes time and dedication. But over time, it transforms the way we see ourselves and the world around us. The first step in replacing negative thoughts is recognizing them. Often, negative thoughts arise automatically, influenced by past experiences, insecurities, or societal expectations. For instance, when facing a challenge, the thought, I'm not good enough, might surface without warning. Recognizing this thought in the moment is crucial, because awareness gives us the chance to intervene. Without awareness, the thought remains unchecked, feeding into a cycle of self-doubt and discouragement. By catching the thought, we take the first step toward breaking its power. Once we recognize a negative thought, it's important to pause and question its validity. Many of our negative thoughts are based on distorted beliefs rather than objective truths. For example, the thought, "I always fail at everything I try," is a sweeping generalization that likely doesn't reflect reality. Instead of accepting this thought as fact, we can challenge it. Is it really true that you fail at everything? Or are there instances where you've succeeded? Taking a moment to question the accuracy of negative thoughts helps weaken their grip, allowing us to see them for what they are: temporary mental habits rather than unchangeable truths. After challenging a negative thought, the next step is to replace it with a positive or constructive alternative. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to think overly optimistic thoughts that feel inauthentic. Rather, it's about choosing a perspective that empowers you instead of one that diminishes you. For instance, instead of thinking, "I'll never be able to handle this," you might replace it with, "I may not know everything, but I can learn and improve." This subtle shift in thinking acknowledges the challenge while focusing on your ability to grow and adapt. Over time, replacing negative thoughts with positive alternatives becomes easier as it becomes a habit. Repetition is key to creating new mental pathways, just as physical exercise builds muscle. The brain is remarkably adaptable. And with enough practice, positive thoughts can start to replace negative ones as the default. Studies in neuroscience show that our brains have something called neuroplasticity, meaning they can form new neural connections in response to new patterns of thinking and behavior. Each time you consciously replace a negative thought, you are helping to rewire your brain to favor more constructive and empowering thought patterns. One way to reinforce this process is through affirmations, which are positive statements designed to counteract negative beliefs. Affirmations can be tailored to your specific challenges or goals, such as, "I am capable of overcoming obstacles," or "I deserve success and happiness." By repeating these affirmations regularly, you create a mental foundation that makes it easier to counter negative thoughts when they arise. While affirmations may feel forced at first, with time they become internalized, helping you develop a more positive self-concept. Another effective strategy for replacing negative thoughts is visualization. Visualization is the practice of mentally picturing yourself achieving a goal or handling a situation with confidence. If, for instance, you have a tendency to think, "I'm terrible at public speaking," try visualizing yourself speaking calmly and confidently in front of an audience. Imagine yourself handling questions with ease and finishing your speech to applause. By visualizing success, you replace fear-based thoughts with images of competence and resilience. This mental rehearsal helps your brain prepare for the actual event, making it more likely that you'll approach it with confidence. An important part of replacing negative thoughts is learning to practice self-compassion. Often we are our own harshest critics, quick to judge ourselves for mistakes or perceived shortcomings. When we make a mistake, thoughts like, "I'm such a failure," can arise, fueling feelings of guilt or shame. Practicing self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. Instead of berating yourself, you might think, "I'm human, and it's okay to make mistakes. I can learn from this and do better next time." This shift not only alleviates self-imposed pressure, but also fosters a growth mindset, making it easier to focus on improvement rather than dwelling on failure. Replacing negative thoughts also involves being mindful of your language. The words we use when we talk to ourselves have a powerful impact on our emotions and actions. Negative thoughts often contain words like "never," "always," or "can't," "da," absolute terms that leave little room for change or improvement. Replacing these words with more flexible language opens up possibilities. Instead of saying, "I can't handle stress," try, "I'm learning to manage stress better." This small change in wording makes a big difference as it shifts the focus from a fixed state to one of progress and potential. Another useful practice is gratitude. Negative thoughts often focus on what we lack or what's wrong in our lives, while gratitude shifts the focus to what we have and what's going well. By cultivating gratitude, we train our minds to look for positives even in difficult situations. Keeping a daily gratitude journal, where you write down a few things you're grateful for each day, can help reinforce this shift. When negative thoughts arise, reflecting on what you're grateful for can help balance your perspective and remind you of the good that exists alongside the challenges. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine can also support the process of replacing negative thoughts. Mindfulness involves being present and observing your thoughts without judgment. When you practice mindfulness, you learn to see thoughts as passing mental events rather than absolute truths. This awareness makes it easier to let go of negative thoughts rather than getting caught up in them. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good at anything," mindfulness allows you to acknowledge the thought without identifying with it. You can observe it, recognize it as a fleeting mental event, and then consciously choose to focus on a more positive thought. Replacing negative thoughts with positive ones is about taking responsibility for your mental landscape. While we may not have control over every situation, we do have control over how we interpret and respond to those situations. By choosing thoughts that uplift and empower us, we create a mindset that supports resilience, growth, and self-belief. It's a gradual process, but with patience and practice, replacing negative thoughts can lead to profound changes in how we feel, how we behave, and the outcomes we experience in life. The journey of replacing negative thoughts is a journey of self-discovery and self-improvement. It teaches us to become more aware of our inner dialogue, to question our beliefs, and to take an active role in shaping our minds. As we build this skill, we gain a sense of control over our mental well-being and open the door to greater confidence, fulfillment, and peace. Visualizing success and possibility is a powerful tool that enables us to see beyond our current circumstances, motivating us to reach our goals and overcome obstacles. By vividly imagining positive outcomes and personal victories, we shift our focus away from doubts and limitations, reinforcing a mindset of growth and resilience. Visualization is not simply daydreaming, it is an intentional and structured practice of envisioning future achievements in a detailed, realistic way. Research shows that this kind of mental rehearsal primes our brain to perform better in real-life situations as it strengthens the neural pathways associated with success. Visualization helps us build confidence, stay motivated, and approach challenges with a sense of possibility. One of the most significant benefits of visualization is that it creates a mental blueprint for achieving our goals. When we visualize a goal, we're not just imagining the outcome, we're rehearsing the steps needed to get there. For instance, if you're preparing for a major presentation, visualization can help you mentally walk through the experience. You might imagine the process of organizing your materials, rehearsing your talking points, confidently delivering your presentation, and responding to questions. This mental rehearsal allows you to picture yourself succeeding, which not only reduces anxiety, but also helps you feel more prepared. By envisioning each step, you are building familiarity with the process, making it easier to stay focused and calm when the real event occurs. Visualization also activates the same neural networks in the brain that are involved in physical performance. Athletes, for example, often use visualization techniques to mentally practice their skills and routines. Studies have shown that when athletes imagine themselves running, swimming, or performing a particular skill, their brains engage in a way that's nearly identical to physical practice. This mental engagement strengthens the connection between the mind and body, improving actual performance when they step onto the field, track, or court. Visualization essentially serves as a form of mental practice, allowing athletes to rehearse their movements and strategies without physically exerting themselves. For example, a basketball player might visualize making free throws, seeing the ball leave their hands, travel in a perfect arc, and swish through the net. This practice creates a mental map that can improve coordination and increase confidence during actual games. For those of us outside of sports, visualization is equally valuable in other areas of life, such as academics, career goals, and personal growth. Suppose you're aiming to improve your public speaking skills. By visualizing yourself speaking confidently in front of an audience, projecting your voice, and connecting with listeners, you can begin to build a sense of comfort and mastery over time. The mind becomes accustomed to this positive version of events, gradually replacing any fear-based images with those of competence and success. This kind of visualization strengthens your belief in your ability, making it easier to approach public speaking opportunities with poise and self-assurance. Another reason visualization is so effective is that it helps align your subconscious mind with your goals. Our subconscious mind is deeply influenced by our thoughts and images, and by visualizing positive outcomes, we essentially program it to work in our favor. The subconscious mind is like a powerful computer that stores beliefs, habits, and responses. When we repeatedly visualize success, we're feeding the subconscious mind positive instructions, which it then works to carry out. This can be especially helpful in overcoming self-limiting beliefs. For example, if you've always thought, I'm not good at taking risks, visualizing yourself confidently pursuing a new venture or challenging project can gradually shift this belief. As you continue to imagine yourself succeeding in situations where you once felt limited, your subconscious mind starts to adopt this new narrative, supporting you in real-world actions and decisions. Visualization also enhances motivation by giving us a clear, inspiring image of what we're working toward. When we can vividly picture our goals and imagine the joy, pride, and fulfillment of achieving them, we're more likely to stay committed and motivated. This emotional connection to the vision energizes, making it easier to overcome obstacles and setbacks. For example, someone who wants to run a marathon can use visualization to picture crossing the finish line, feeling the excitement of the crowd, and experiencing a profound sense of accomplishment. This mental image can serve as a powerful source of motivation, especially on days when training feels challenging. By frequently returning to this vision, we remind ourselves of the bigger purpose behind our efforts, fueling our persistence and determination. Visualization can also be a helpful tool in problem solving, allowing us to mentally explore different scenarios and outcomes. When faced with a difficult decision, visualizing each option and its potential consequences can provide clarity. By imagining how you might feel and respond in each scenario, you can gain insights into which choice aligns best with your values and goals. For instance, if you're contemplating a career change, you might visualize yourself in the new role, considering how it aligns with your skills, interests, and lifestyle. This mental exploration can reveal aspects you hadn't considered, helping you make more informed, confident choices. In addition to visualizing success, visualizing how you will handle setbacks is equally important. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and imagining how you would respond to challenges prepares you to stay resilient when obstacles arise. This type of negative visualization allows you to think through potential difficulties without succumbing to fear or discouragement. By mentally rehearsing how you will cope with setbacks, you're strengthening your resilience and flexibility, which can help you stay calm and focused when real challenges occur. For example, if you're preparing for a business presentation, you might visualize how you'll handle a difficult question or technical issue with composure. This practice not only boosts your confidence, but also prepares you to stay adaptable in the face of unforeseen challenges. To make visualization a habit, it's helpful to set aside a few minutes each day to practice. This can be done in a quiet space where you can close your eyes and focus on your goals. Begin by imagining the details of what you want to achieve, engaging all your senses to make the experience feel real. Visualize the sights, sounds, and even the emotions associated with your success. The more vividly you can picture this scenario, the more effective the visualization will be. Regular practice is key, as it reinforces these positive mental images and strengthens your belief in your ability to achieve your goals. For visualization to be most effective, it's also important to combine it with action. Visualizing alone won't bring results unless it's followed by concrete steps toward your goal. However, visualization serves as a powerful starting point, giving you the confidence and motivation needed to take action. Each time you mentally rehearse your success, you're setting the stage for real-world progress, making each step feel more achievable. Visualization helps to bridge the gap between thought and action, guiding you to make choices and take actions that align with the future you envision. In the end, visualization is a tool for creating a life of purpose, growth, and resilience. By imagining our best selves and the possibilities that lie ahead, we train our minds to seek out opportunities, build confidence, and persist through challenges. Visualization reminds us that, regardless of current circumstances, there's always room for growth and transformation. When we focus on what's possible and consistently visualize success, we align ourselves with a future that reflects our highest aspirations. Building a growth mindset is a powerful way to reshape your life and open yourself up to possibilities that might have once felt out of reach. A growth mindset, a concept developed by psychologist Carol Dweck, is the belief that skills, intelligence, and talents can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities, view setbacks as part of the learning process, and are more likely to persist in the face of difficulties. By cultivating a growth mindset, we empower ourselves to keep improving, step outside our comfort zones, and embrace life as a continuous journey of learning and growth. A growth mindset starts with understanding that skills and abilities are not fixed traits. While talent and initial aptitude can play a role in our achievements, most progress comes from consistent practice, resilience, and learning from failure. For instance, a person with a growth mindset believes they can improve their public speaking skills or learn to play an instrument if they dedicate time and effort, even if they don't consider themselves naturally talented in these areas. This perspective opens up possibilities, allowing us to take on new challenges without being held back by a fear of failure. One of the most impactful aspects of a growth mindset is how it changes our response to failure. With a fixed mindset, failure feels like a personal judgment on our abilities. It can seem like proof that we're not good enough. People with a fixed mindset often avoid challenging situations because they want to avoid failure. On the other hand, a growth mindset allows us to see failure as a stepping stone rather than a dead end. When we adopt this perspective, failure becomes a learning experience. Instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" we ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift helps us bounce back from setbacks, giving us the resilience to keep going even when things don't go as planned. To build a growth mindset, it's essential to pay attention to our inner dialogue. How we talk to ourselves shapes our beliefs about what we're capable of achieving. A fixed mindset often involves self-defeating thoughts like "I'm just not good at this," or "I'll never be able to do that." In contrast, a growth mindset encourages us to replace these thoughts with constructive alternatives, such as "I'm not good at this yet, but I can get better with practice," or "Every expert was once a beginner." By consciously reframing our thoughts, we train our minds to embrace challenges and stay optimistic about improvement. It plays a crucial role in developing a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset may see feedback as criticism or evidence that they're not skilled enough, while those with a growth mindset view feedback as an opportunity to grow. Receiving constructive feedback can be challenging, but it's a valuable source of insight that helps us improve. When we choose to view feedback as guidance rather than a personal attack, we can use it to refine our approach, develop new strategies, and become better at whatever we're pursuing. This mindset shift allows us to welcome feedback with curiosity rather than defensiveness. Another key to building a growth mindset is embracing challenges instead of shying away from them. People with a fixed mindset may avoid challenging situations because they fear failure or being exposed as not talented enough. However, with a growth mindset, challenges are seen as essential for growth. For example, a student with a growth mindset will take on a difficult course not just for the grade, but for the chance to expand their knowledge and skills. Similarly, an employee might volunteer for a challenging project at work, recognizing that it's an opportunity to learn, gain experience, and potentially advance in their career. By consistently stepping into new and challenging situations, we stretch our capabilities and discover strengths we may not have known we had. To cultivate a growth mindset, it's also helpful to shift our focus from outcomes to the learning process itself. In a society that often emphasizes results, it's easy to become overly focused on the end goal, whether it's achieving a high score on an exam, landing a promotion, or winning a competition. However, people with a growth mindset find value in the process, recognizing that each step is part of the journey of admit. When we focus on the process, we become more present and engaged, finding satisfaction in the effort we put in rather than solely in the result. This approach makes it easier to persevere through difficulties as we begin to see progress as a reward in itself, regardless of the final outcome. Another aspect of a growth mindset is resilience. Life is full of unexpected changes, setbacks, and challenges that can derail our plans. A growth mindset helps us to see these obstacles not as reasons to give up, but as opportunities to adapt and learn. For instance, someone with a growth mindset who loses a job might view it as an opportunity to reevaluate their career path or learn new skills rather than a reason to feel defeated. This adaptability is essential in a world that is constantly changing. By staying resilient, we maintain our ability to learn, improve, and bounce back from setbacks stronger than before. Gratitude can also play an important role in nurturing a growth mindset. By focusing on what we're thankful for, we train our minds to appreciate the positive aspects of our experiences, even when they involve challenges. When we practice gratitude, we're more likely to view difficulties as opportunities to grow and appreciate the journey rather than fixating on the negatives. For example, a person with a growth mindset might feel gratitude for a challenging project because it allowed them to develop new skills or learn about their strengths. Gratitude shifts our attention away from what went wrong to what we've gained, reinforcing the belief that we're capable of growth and improvement. Surrounding ourselves with people who have a growth mindset can also have a profound impact on our own perspective. Our social environment strongly influences our beliefs and attitudes, and being around people who embrace challenges and view setbacks as learning opportunities can reinforce these values in ourselves. By choosing to connect with people who encourage growth and celebrate effort, we create an environment that supports our own journey toward a growth mindset. We also benefit from observing how others approach challenges and learning from their experiences and resilience. Patience is a fundamental component of a growth mindset. True growth doesn't happen overnight, and setbacks are a natural part of the journey. Developing patience allows us to trust the process and understand that improvement takes time. Whether we're working on a skill, a personal goal, or a major life change, having the patience to keep going, even when progress is slow, is essential. A growth mindset recognizes that each small step is progress and that, with time and consistent effort, real change is possible. In cultivating a growth mindset, we are essentially choosing to believe in our own potential and resilience. This mindset not only empowers us to pursue our goals with determination, but also helps us see each experience as a valuable part of our journey. By embracing challenges, learning from feedback, and staying committed to improvement, we transform setbacks into stepping stones and turn effort into a tool for success. A growth mindset is more than just a way of thinking, it's a way of living that allows us to thrive in the face of adversity and continuously expand our possibilities. Taking consistent action is the cornerstone of achieving personal growth and making meaningful changes in our lives. While visualization, positive thinking, and developing a growth mindset are essential components in the process of transformation, action is the catalyst that turns our aspirations and dreams into reality. Many people fall into the trap of overthinking, getting stuck in the planning phase without ever moving forward. However, it is through consistent action that we gain clarity, build momentum, and ultimately reach our goals. This principle applies to every aspect of our lives, whether we are pursuing career advancements, personal development, or new hobbies. The first step in taking consistent action is setting clear, achievable goals. Goals provide a direction for our efforts, helping us focus on what we want to accomplish. It is essential to ensure that our goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, often referred to as SMART goals. For instance, instead of setting a vague goal like I want to get fit, a more effective goal would be I will exercise for 30 minutes at least 3 times a week for the next 3 months. This specificity not only clarifies what actions need to be taken, but also allows for tracking progress along the way. When we have well-defined goals, we are more likely to stay motivated and accountable. Once we have established our goals, the next step is to break them down into smaller, manageable steps. Large goals can often feel overwhelming, leading to procrastination or inaction. By breaking a goal into smaller tasks, we create a roadmap that makes the journey feel more achievable. For example, if your goal is to write a book, you might break it down into smaller steps, such as outlining the chapters, setting a daily word count, and scheduling regular writing sessions. This approach not only makes the task less daunting, but also allows for a sense of accomplishment as you complete each small step. Celebrating these small wins reinforces your motivation to keep going as you can see the progress you're making along the way. Taking action also involves developing a routine that incorporates these smaller steps into your daily life. Creating a consistent routine helps build the habit of taking action, making it easier to stay on track. For instance, if you've set a goal to improve your fitness, you might schedule your workouts for specific days and times each week. By integrating these activities into your routine, they become a regular part of your life rather than something you have to consciously think about every time. Routines create a structure that supports your goals, making it easier to maintain focus and commitment over the long term. So, it's important to remember that action doesn't always have to be perfect, it simply needs to be consistent. Perfectionism can be a significant barrier to taking action. Many individuals wait for the perfect moment or for their plan to be flawless before they take the first step. This mindset can lead to stagnation and missed opportunities. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions, focus on making progress, no matter how small. Embrace the idea that taking imperfect action is better than inaction. Each step you take, even if it feels inadequate, brings you closer to your goal. The key is to stay committed to the process and allow yourself to learn and grow along the way. It plays a vital role in maintaining consistent action. Sharing your goals with others can create a sense of responsibility and motivation to follow through. Whether it's a friend, family member, or a support group, having someone to check in with can keep you on track. Regularly discussing your progress and challenges not only provides encouragement, but also allows you to gain insights and advice from others who may have faced similar experiences. Consider joining a community or finding a mentor who can support you on your journey. This external accountability can be a powerful motivator to keep pushing forward. Another crucial aspect of taking action is being willing to adjust your approach as needed. Life is inherently unpredictable, and sometimes the path to our goals will change due to unforeseen circumstances. It's essential to stay flexible and open to modifying your plans when necessary. For instance, if you encounter obstacles that make your original plan unfeasible, instead of viewing this as a failure, see it as an opportunity to adapt. Assess what is working and what isn't, and be willing to pivot your strategies as needed. This adaptability not only helps you stay aligned with your goals, but also reinforces your ability to overcome challenges and find new solutions. Taking consistent action also involves cultivating a mindset of resilience. On our journey toward achieving our goals, setbacks and failures are inevitable. How we respond to these challenges can significantly impact our ability to keep moving forward. Instead of viewing setbacks as signs of defeat, embrace them as valuable learning experiences. Reflect on what went wrong and what you can do differently next time. This reflective practice helps you build resilience and strengthens your determination to continue taking action, even when faced with difficulties. In addition to resilience, maintaining a positive attitude can enhance our ability to take consistent action. A positive mindset helps us stay motivated and focused, even when the going gets tough. When faced with challenges, remind yourself of your strengths, past successes, and the reasons behind your goals. Surround yourself with positive influences, whether through inspiring books, podcasts, or supportive friends who uplift and encourage you. A positive attitude acts as fuel for your journey, keeping you energized and committed to taking action toward your goals. As you work toward your goals, it's important to periodically assess your progress and make adjustments as needed. Regularly reviewing what you've accomplished can provide valuable insights into what is working and what needs improvement. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small, and take note of any areas where you may need to refine your approach. This reflection process helps maintain your momentum and keeps you accountable for your actions. It also allows you to acknowledge the growth you've achieved along the way, reinforcing your motivation to continue. It's essential to cultivate patience and perseverance in your journey. Significant changes and achievements often take time, and there may be moments when progress feels slow or stagnant. During these times, remind yourself of the importance of consistency and commitment. The road to success is rarely a straight line. It's often filled with twists, turns, and unexpected challenges. By remaining patient and persistent, you can navigate these obstacles and continue moving toward your goals. In conclusion, taking consistent action is the key to transforming your aspirations into reality. By setting clear goals, breaking them down into manageable steps, establishing routines, and remaining adaptable, you empower yourself to make progress in all areas of your life. Remember that taking action doesn't have to be perfect, it simply needs to be consistent. Embrace the journey, learn from setbacks, and stay focused on your vision. With perseverance and a commitment to action, you will discover the incredible potential that lies within you, paving the way for a fulfilling and successful life.